A zillion years ago, I used to play the violin, and I played it rather badly, but I played all the way through high school. And while it was a fun experience, a part of it has really stayed with me, and that is how I think about bowing. Let's apply this to some piano playing, specifically how to play a really efficient and precise staccato. Let's look at the last movement of Haydn Sonata number 50, the finale. Let's look at the Haydn Sonata in E minor, and I'm going to make the same kind of motion before I stop and talk about the bowing. Here's my question for you. How many motions did I make in my arm when I played this? That I made essentially one motion here. I made one motion in my left hand as I made those staccatos. Frequently I see students trying to play a passage like this, and the problem is that they make one motion per note, and it becomes really inefficient, and the inefficiency stems from this. If I'm making 4 motions to play this passage, and each one requires me to be several inches above the keyboard, I'm creating extra variables, and those variables get in the way of playing precisely because it's really hard to be on stage and playing this instrument well, even when you do things efficiently. So I want to make things as variable free as possible. Because I've got all 4 notes covered, and I'm not making those 4 different motions, but one motion, there's no chance I will miss the notes, and my staccatos are going to be more uniform in sound because there's not going to be different heights of attack. And while I'm doing this, I'm using my elbow for what it's really good at doing. My elbow is very good at making slower motions. In this case, I'm opening my arm as opposed to doing this. My elbow's not very good at doing this. Let's apply this to maybe the F minor sonata of Beethoven, the Opus 2, number 1, the opening. And you'll notice when I did this, I made one motion as if it was a single bow stroke of the bow and of the bow as playing the violin, and as opposed to making 6 bow strokes. So on the violin, this would be, in one bow, would be like a stopped bow as I played through, as opposed to an up bow, a down bow, and so on. The other thing I think about when I played both of these excerpts, especially in the Beethoven, was that when I played it, it's as if I was playing the bottom portion of a circle. And my elbow reflects this in that as it came around, it plays the bottom portion of kind of like a circle or an oval, and I'm a big fan of this idea that the circle is the most important motion in piano technique. My left hand did the same thing. It made a motion that opened up as I played, and what I didn't do is make 3 motions this way. Sometimes when I've had a student who's doing staccatos wrong, it reminds me a little bit of a seal, kind of arc, 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 where because it reminds me of kind of the way a seal looks on land. Very inefficient, not really designed for that. My elbow moving this way is not really designed to move that way. But when I do this, it becomes very sleek and efficient. When I played this, you'll also notice that this is a mirroring image besides. So my elbows are doing this, mirroring each other, but I'm making a single motion as I make multiple staccatos. One final thought. I'd like to ask my students, how many motions did I make when I played it? The answer I'm always looking for is 1. Try and make single motions or larger grouped motions into a single motion with momentum, and it makes things so much more efficient. You will be using the bow, the elbow in your playing, and you will reduce variables, and thus it will be easier for you.